What if love is not a miracle, but a manipulation? What if every heartbeat, every glance, every moment you called falling, was actually you obeying biology? Schopenhauer believed love is the grand illusion, a trick of nature. You think you chose them, but you were chosen by your genes, by your species, by the will to survive. Love is nothing more than the individual's illusion, in service of the species' continuation. Schopenhauer, romance, passion, even heartbreak, none of it is personal. It's pre-programmed. The myth of love exists not for your happiness, but for reproduction. Now enter Esther Perel. She calls love a creative act, not something you fall into, but something you build. Love is not a permanent state of enthusiasm. It's a conscious partnership. Esther Perel. To her, love is a dance, a conversation, a construction between two evolving beings. You are not tricked. You are awakened. So which is it? Is love real? Or is it the most sophisticated software evolution ever coded? This is the thinking war. We are told that love is the highest human experience, that to love and be loved is the point of it all. But what if that's the first lie you swallowed? What if love was never about connection, but compliance? What if the warmth you crave is just a biological trick to keep you reproducing, pair-bonded, and distracted? Schopenhauer saw through the myth. To him, love is not an emotion, it's a mechanism. It exists to override reason, to hijack logic, to push you toward someone you believe you want, but nature needs you to desire. A man falls in love, and then everything else follows. But what follows is rarely happiness. He argued that love is not about you. It is about the species. You are not loving. You are being used. But across the battlefield stands Esther Perel. She refuses to reduce love to hormones and sperm. She says love is not instinct. It is intelligence. An art. A conscious experiment. A dance between self and other. Eroticism is not a function of the body, but of the imagination. To Perel, love is not a trap. It is the only arena where vulnerability becomes strength, and chaos becomes connection. So we ask, when you say you're in love, are you awakening or obeying? To love, according to Schopenhauer, is not to choose. It is to be chosen by something older, deeper, and colder than consciousness. By the will, not your will, but nature's. Schopenhauer believed the will to life, a blind, unstoppable force, is what drives all existence, and love is its most deceptive instrument. You think you fall in love because of shared values, beauty, or soul connection? Wrong. You fall in love with the person whose genetic material nature wants you to combine with. Nothing more. The object of love is not the individual, but the species. This is why love makes no sense, why it's irrational, why it hurts, why it blinds. Because it's not built for your peace. It's built for reproduction. A woman attracts not because she's intelligent, but because her fertility cues manipulate male desire. A man pursues not because he's noble, but because his genes are screaming for legacy. Even fidelity, the most praised virtue in love, is a lie, a strategy, a way to ensure offspring survival and genetic loyalty. Love, in Schopenhauer's view, is the cruelest joke evolution ever played, because it feels sacred, but it serves something utterly indifferent to your feelings. Speech balloon, have you ever looked at your own heartbreak and thought, this pain feels bigger than me? Maybe it is. Maybe it never was about you. Where Schopenhauer sees biology, Esther Perel sees choreography. Where he sees manipulation, she sees creation. To Perel, love is not a trap laid by evolution. It is a stage for the most conscious performance of human connection. You do not fall in love. You co-create it. Eroticism is the antidote to death. It is the affirmation of life. Esther Perel. She rejects the idea that desire is purely instinctual. To her, desire is art. It's language. It's risk. It's play. It's the courage to want, even after trauma. It's the ability to remain curious, even in routine. And love? Love is the emotional architecture that supports this erotic intelligence. For Perel, real love is not blind. It sees you, holds you, and still desires you. It grows. It adapts. It chooses. This is why she speaks not of compatibility, but of resilience. Not of sacrifice, but of polarity. Love thrives not when it's safe, but when it's alive. Desire needs distance to thrive. Love seeks closeness. Modern couples must master both. She does not deny the body, She honors it. But she insists. We are more than biology. We are imagination. And Esther Perel doesn't want you to escape love's illusion. She wants you to rewire it into something worth believing in. This is not a debate. This is a civil war inside your most fragile emotions. Schopenhauer doesn't ask if love is real. He declares it isn't. It's camouflage, the sugar coating on a reproductive command, the narcotic that keeps you chained to a purpose that isn't yours. Love cheats the individual for the sake of the species. You are not loving. You are obeying. But Perel revolts. To her, love is not a default setting. It's a rebellion against emptiness. It is the decision to stay when escape is easier. It is the art of intimacy, not the accident of chemistry. Love is not the end of freedom. It's what you do with your freedom. Schopenhauer says, love blinds. Perel says, love reveals. He says, you are being used. She says, you are co-creating. For one, love is nature's handcuff. For the other, it's the human soul's most daring invention. He believes attraction is inevitable. She believes intimacy is optional. And that's where the war burns hottest. Are you simply reacting to an algorithm written in your blood? Or are you capable of writing your own script? Have you ever felt caught between instinct and intention, between the need to run and the desire to stay? We swipe. We ghost. We trauma bond. Then we blame them. Or the app. Or the timing. But what if the real problem is love itself? Schopenhauer would say, you're not in a toxic relationship. You're in a perfectly functioning biological contract. It hurts because it's supposed to. Because nature doesn't care about your happiness. It cares about your submission. You're not broken. Love is. Schopenhauer, if he had Instagram, that addiction to red flags, that chaos you call chemistry, that pain you confuse with passion, that's not trauma. That's the will. Esther Perel pushes back. She argues we call everything toxic because we've forgotten how to tolerate vulnerability. Modern love, she says, is under siege, not by biology, but by performance. We want Instagram love with real-world scars. We crave deep connection, but can't sit through discomfort. We demand fireworks, but refuse emotional labor. Perel says, we haven't made love toxic. We've made it shallow, disposable, overstimulated and undernourished. So what if your heartbreak isn't a malfunction, but a message? Have you ever felt like love today is more theater than truth, more dopamine than devotion? You swore it was love, that the butterflies were real, that the pain meant depth, that the silence meant understanding. But what if all of it, the thrill, the ache, the obsession, was just your biology, doing its job? Schopenhauer says you were never in control, that what you called connection was nature's brutal choreography. You were not loving. You were complying. But Esther Perel won't let it end there. She believes your desire can be reclaimed, that passion can be reauthored, that you can write love in your own language, not just the one evolution coded into your blood. Between stimulus and response, there is a space, and in that space is your power to choose. Viktor Frankl, quoted by Perel. So now you must ask, are you loving because you're free? Or because you're following the script? Are you choosing? Or just responding?